Hello everybody. I just wanted to post a little bit of a video talking about Elijah of Buxton and also a little bit about how it's related to what's been going on in the news regarding the police brutality in Minneapolis and the killing of George Floyd by the police and the investigation into police brutality even in Toronto of a Black woman. So this is lining up with our study and our history segments on slavery in North America and of our reading of Elijah of Buxton, which is about that period as well. And first of all, I want to say to the Black students that I understand if it's a little bit too much to be watching this news cycle and hearing about this news and also learning about the traumatic past of Black people in North America. So if you need to take a little bit of a break, I totally understand that. But for those of us who are not Black, or even more importantly, who are white, I think it's even more important to learn about this history and to understand that slavery and the effects of slavery have not really gone away. And this kind of police brutality is you can see a very strong similarity there, where it's treating Black people not as full human beings in the same way that slavery did. So we like to think that that part of our history is over, but it's not over, and we are still reckoning with it. And Canada is not innocent, and we need to be careful because we're reading about the Underground Railroad and how people were escaping to Canada. So it seems like so much better than the United States. And the United States often has bigger, more explosive problems, but Canada still does have problems, and we need to make sure we are watching out for this kind of thing happening here too, because it does. So I urge you to keep participating in listening to this read aloud and in the history, so that you can learn the history behind the racism that is still going on today. And it's our job to look at and confront and wrestle with and be an ally against anti-Black racism. And part of that is understanding the past and watching for similar things in the present to try and make the future better. So tomorrow I'm actually for the first time going to do like a live chapter of Elijah of Buxton on a Google Meet. Now, the only thing that I'm worried about is that it might be laggy. So I'm also going to record it on my phone so that in case it gets messed up, you can also watch the recording. But that way we can do more discussion. So it's a little bit of an experiment. So chapter 7, which is the chapter due for Tuesday, will be read aloud at 2 p.m. on a Google Meet. And I'll post that information tomorrow morning. So please come if you can, and we can talk about it. Because even though the beginning of Elijah of Buxton seems kind of like zany and like Elijah just having sort of growing up experiences, but it's set in the past, it's going to start wrestling a lot more with the racism that's still going on in Buxton. And there's been some mention. Remember how Elijah said that his parents won't let him go to a certain area of the forest because it's near where the white folks in Chatham are. And they're clearly afraid that they're going to be mean, bad, racist, violent towards Elijah or people from Buxton. So they may be free, but there's racism, dangerous racism, and dangerous white people all around them. And now we have seen in the last chapter, Mr. Travis, who is their teacher, and he is Black as well, but being very, very scared and worried that if they don't behave super properly and super polite and super educated, they will be treated poorly. And that's a part of racism as well, the fear that you have to be better, the best, the most polite, the best behaved to be treated just normally. And so I think that it's a lot that this study that we're doing right now, this area of history we're talking about right now, is coming up when these events have just happened. But it just goes to show why history is important and why we study it and why we should know about it and we should learn from it. And clearly, we have not finished learning from it yet, and we have a lot of work to do. So please make sure that you are listening if you can. If you yourself are affected by this kind of racism, and it's a lot, let me know, talk to me about it, and I'll find something else for you to do. But the rest of us, we have a job to do, which is to watch and to learn and to think about what we can do. So also tomorrow at the meet on Tuesday at 2 p.m., please come and think about what you can do as a non-Black person to help fight anti-Black racism. Come with an idea, and we'll talk about that and maybe make a list of those things so that we can be prepared if we are ever needed to do something. Well, we're always needed to do something, but I mean more of like in the moment, in a situation. So come with some ideas and we'll talk about that as well. Okay, so catch up on chapters 1 to 6. Come at 2 p.m. to hear chapter 7. If you miss it, you can watch the video, but it would be nice for you to be there and for us to be able to talk and have a conversation. And as always, stay safe. Notice what's happening around you. Speak out if you see something happening that you think is not right. And look out for each other. See you tomorrow.